The Golden State Warriors just announced this. As you all know, Andrew Wiggins has come down with an injury of a right adductor strain, and he is going to be out for a couple of games. So in today's video, we're going to be going through 3 moves that the Golden State Warriors must make in order to keep to their winning ways and get back to the top of the Western Conference. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get into the first move that the Golden State Warriors must make in order to keep to their winning ways, and that is to play more of Jonathan Kaminga. We all know this, but Kaminga is basically a Andrew Wiggins 2.0. He's done a fantastic job so far, but I think he definitely does need a couple more minutes in order to really show what he's capable of. Kaminga so far this season is averaging 6.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, and he's doing this on just 14 minutes played per game. So he's putting up some pretty good stats, and I think if he got more minutes, which is now the opportunity for him to do so, he can definitely provide 15-20 points, get a couple of steals, a couple of rebounds, and get the job done. I think Kaminga is great because he does stand at 6'8", 210 pounds. A lot of people forget that, especially in today's NBA, 6'8" is considered pretty tall. He can basically play power forward and sometimes even center in some NBA teams. So for him to be running that small forward position to replace Andrew Wiggins in that starting lineup, I think Kaminga would be fantastic for that. He's done a fantastic job so far, and it definitely does show in the stat sheet. When we look at his efficiencies, he's very efficient in the 2-point percentage, so his inside game definitely does show that, with his 2-point percentage being 60%. His 3-point percentage can use a little bit of a work where it's only 30%, and that isn't, that bad. It's actually the league average. However, when you're going up against players or going against players Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, you definitely have to get those numbers up to around 40% very quickly. But I think Kaminga, what he can provide on offense, he can also provide on defense as well. He's a great defender. His on-ball defense definitely does show that, especially moving like a guard at 6'8". He's done a fantastic job in a lot of times, and his game score definitely does show that. Now, when it comes to Jonathan Kaminga, I think what he does well as well is that on defense, his ability to be able to read the defense has definitely played a huge part in how he's being able to actually be very effective, as much as Andrew Wiggins was when it comes to guarding the main players in other teams. Kaminga knows when to be, what positions to be at, especially guarding some of the best players in the league, and he definitely has the capability to lock down some of the best players in the league right now. And I think in the upcoming games, we're definitely going to see that from Kaminga due to the fact that he is going to be getting a lot more minutes. If we look at the Utah game where they just lost by 1 point, which was unfortunate, Kaminga had himself a game where he got more minutes, where he had 29 minutes and he got 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and did a fantastic job on defense, especially against players such as Jordan Clarkson and others. So he did a fantastic job there. We all know what happened between Clarkson and Kaminga. A little fight broke out, but we'll save that for another story. But Kaminga is definitely a key integral part for this franchise, and I think it's definitely time for him to see that and for the Warriors to show that. So the second big move that the Golden State Warriors must do in order to keep to their winning ways is to continue to have Jordan Poole coming off the bench. Now, I know when Andrew Wiggins got injured, a lot of people thought, oh, Jordan Poole should start, but I think Poole does very well coming off the bench. And there's a lot of reasons why, but what I think is great for him is that when he comes off the bench, he really does provide that spark power for that second unit. And if you take Jordan Poole out of that second unit, I do think that the bench or the second unit don't really perform just as well. They definitely need a main scorer, and Jordan Poole is that guy for this bench, and I think it's very important to keep him there, especially during this time where Andrew Wiggins is injured. Like I mentioned before, I think Kaminga should actually take that small forward spot and play the small forward position, and then you keep Jordan Poole coming in as 6-man and doing what he does best. Now, Jordan Poole so far this season is averaging 17.7 points per game, 2.1 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. So he's done a fantastic job while also getting 27 minutes per game. And I think, if he continues to keep his ways and continue to play such great basketball, it will be very beneficial for someone like the Golden State Warriors. They've done a fantastic job, and if we look at the most recent game against the Utah Jazz, he actually put up 36 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists. So he has the capability to definitely go off for a 30 bomb very, very easily. And I think, with him coming off the bench, I think they definitely should give him more minutes as time goes on. Definitely, his numbers are 27, 28 minutes per game, but they definitely should get those numbers up to around 31, 32 minutes very, very quickly, because I think Jordan Poole is capable of playing that long of minutes and providing a lot for the team. It definitely does show also in his efficiency just how great he's actually doing. His 3-point field goal percentage is actually 35%, which is really good, even though, you know, people say that may be below average compared to Steph and all that. However, guys, when we look at the overall league ranking of 3-point percentage, that is very, very high. You know, it's hard to keep up with someone like Steph, but his 3-point percentage, it shows a great numbers, and it's fantastic to see because he's also shooting a lot of threes. I'm talking 6, 7, 8 threes per game and still averaging above league average is honestly insane to see, and it is a league of his own. Now, if you look at also his effective field goal percentage as a whole, he actually has an effective field goal percentage of 52%, which is honestly really, really good as well, guys. To be able to make that 50% is honestly very difficult. So Jordan Poole definitely does provide a lot for that second unit in that sense, because when it comes to the second unit, they got to have someone that's efficient on the scoring side of things, whether it's inside, outside, and Jordan Poole definitely does provide that. So him coming off the bench, I still think is a smart idea. I know a lot of Warriors fans think, you know, Jordan Poole should move up to the starter position and all that, but I think it's best to have Kaminga at starting, Jordan Poole coming off as the sixth man, because he can definitely give that wow factor for that second unit. If you take him out of that second unit, they don't have too many great scores, and with Draymond Green also running a bit more with the second unit as well, it gives Jordan Poole someone at least of his caliber when it comes to all other facets to be able to play with. So I think if Poole continues to do what he's doing, they will continue to be on their winning ways. They did take a small loss to the Utah Jazz, but if we look at our last couple of losses that they have had, another one against Dallas and also another one against Indiana, they haven't lost them more than 10 points. So the losses that they're actually getting are definitely in, you know, closing distance or clutch distance. You know, there were a couple of mistakes here and there which had them fall through. However, when it comes to the overall basketball that they are playing, they are looking back to their winning ways, which is fantastic to see. So the third move the Golden State Warriors must make is to play more of Anthony Lamb. So Anthony Lamb has kind of come out of nowhere, but he has honestly done such a great job, not only for this Warriors team, but also for his career as well. He stands at 6'6", 227 pounds, and he's put up so far this season 5.8 points, 1.6 assists, and also 3.4 rebounds. So he has played with teams such as the San Antonio Spurs and also the Houston Rockets, and he played well with both of those franchises, but I think his Golden State Warriors kind of career has been a lot better than all the other teams that he has played for. He's been putting up some great numbers so far, and he's also doing it at a very efficient basis, and this is why I think Anthony Lamb definitely does deserve more minutes. With him averaging 5.8 points per game, he's actually shooting an effective field goal percentage of 62.8%, guys. So pretty much 63%. That is honestly insane. His field goal 3-point percentage is actually 39%, and his 2-point percentage is actually 51%. So we see his efficiency is definitely there. I think he deserves more minutes, because when we see him play more minutes, it definitely shows that he can provide a lot more for this team. When he actually has more than 20 minutes played, he's scored more than 15 points on all occasions. So I think Anthony Lamb should definitely get more minutes. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.